Right. Good day, Bel Air High School. I am Devontae Lee, the College Access Coordinator here in the College Center at Bel Air. And today is the 2022 Financial Aid presentation for the graduating class of 2022. Before we get started, this is our big ad. Just to remind you all, if you aren't already connected with the College Center, go ahead and get connected with us by scanning the QR code on the screen, or you can enter the tinyurl.com code at the bottom and do the same application. What this is going to ask you for is your name, your ID number, what are your plans for after Bel Air, as well as your email address and your cell number. We ask for these things this way so you stay up to date with everything that we do here at Bel Air. You're going to receive a copy of this presentation and any other presentations that we may put out at the College Center. You can schedule a one-on-one meeting with us if we have your email or text message. You can receive daily reminders about deadlines that may be coming up for college applications, scholarships, as well as any colleges that may be visiting Bel Air or colleges that Bel Air may be visiting. So go ahead, scan the QR code, and stay connected with the College Center. I'll give you about 60 seconds to take care of that. All right, let's keep. All we need to do before pressing submit on FAFSA, after pressing submit on FAFSA, what even is the FAFSA? So in this presentation today, we're going to give you all an understanding of some things that you all need to know. And this is going to be important because as of this year, the 2021-2022 school year, there's a new Texas House bill called House Bill 3. And part of this House bill is that every student in the 12th grade must complete either the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA, or the Texas application for state financial aid, the TASFA, to graduate from high school. Okay, so it's the high school graduation requirement. So I want to make sure that you all are well informed about what is expected of you all. Today, we're going to talk about what is the FAFSA application as well as the TASFA application. We're going to talk about the basics of how financial aid is awarded, identify the different types of financial aid that may be available for you and your families. We're going to interpret an award letter by using the award letter analyzer. And we're going to close today's presentation with reminding you all where you can go to upload your acceptance letters and your award letters that you will be receiving from all of your universities. Let's go ahead and get started. So, when we do research on different colleges and universities, we usually see this big number, okay? And this is what we usually call that sticker price number for that university. But there's a lot of different things that go into that number that we don't take in consideration that make that full cost of attendance. So one of those things that goes into that cost for college is tuition and fees. This is going to be what we pay for the classes that we take on campus. For the most part, this number is going to be a fixed number and won't have much variation as we move throughout the 4 years. It may go up, but for the most part, it stays the same. Another cost in that full cost of attendance is going to be books and supplies. Unlike high school, you actually have to pay for your books and supplies once you go to college. And this can range anywhere from $200 to $2,000, just depending on what you study and what all you need for that major. Additionally, room and board. This consists of where are we sleeping and what are we eating while on campus in college. And last but not least, personal and transportational costs. So this is any additional expenses such as laundry, cell phone, going out to hang with your friends, how we get to and from college throughout the year. So maybe the beginning of the year, Thanksgiving, winter break, spring break, and anything that we may need for savings as a college student. So when we take into consideration tuition and fees, room and board, books and supplies, and personal and transportation, we get what's called the full cost of attendance of a university. Now, there are some costs that have to be paid upfront directly to a university, and those costs rarely ever fluctuate. These are called our direct costs, and that's going to be tuition and fee and room and board because we directly pay these to the university and they set the price for these items. If we have direct costs, we also have indirect costs, and that's going to be books and supplies and personal and transportation. And we call this the indirect cost because we're not paying this directly to the university. And because we're not paying it directly to them, the price for books and supplies can fluctuate depending if we buy new or if we buy used. Additionally, personal and transportation costs can fluctuate depending on how lavish or how frugal you choose to live your 4 years in college. As we do research, I want you all to know that the cost of attendance is found on every college university's website. We usually can find it in the Office of Financial Aid page. Here, for example, we have one of our hometown heroes, Rice University. We go to their Office of Admissions or Office of Financial Aid website and we look up the cost of attendance. We can see here a breakdown of how much we would pay for the 2021-2022 school year in tuition and fees, room and board, books, and personal. And at the end, it calculates that full cost of attendance, that sticker price that the university is saying that they estimate that we're going to have to pay for that first year. And here's our breakdown of our direct costs. Our breakdown of our indirect costs. So, how do we get money for college? We get money by completing our financial aid applications. So, number one stop to receive aid for college is filling out the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, the Texas application for state financial aid, the TASFA, or the CSS profile. So let's break it down real quick about these. So the FAFSA is going to be a form that we have our U.S. citizens, our permanent residents with an alien card, those who have conditional permanent residence based off of a I-55-1C visa, or those who are here in the United States based off of refugee status, asylee status, parolee status, or they are a Cuban Haitian entrant. If a student doesn't qualify for any of these, then they will not be able to complete the FAFSA. However, if the student will be graduating from Bel Air High School, they've lived in Texas at least 3 years before graduating from that Texas high school, and they plan to attend a college in the state of Texas, then they may be able to complete the Texas application for state financial aid or the TASFA. This is an option that we recommend for our undocumented students who may not have U.S. citizenship for them to continue their education and receive financial aid here in the state of Texas. Every public school in the state of Texas will accept the TASFA application. The CSS profile is going to be a separate application that a lot of our top tier institutions use to decide how they award institutional aid. So money that's coming from their own personal endowments or donors from the past. What they do is they take into consideration the past 3 years worth of data and income that may come into the household, and they provide that information to the College Board through the CSS profile. Unlike FAFSA and TASFA that are free applications, the CSS profile does cost a base fee to fill out and then an additional charge to send to each university that you may be sending it to. If you qualify for a fee waiver, the application will determine that and apply it at the end before you press submit. Not every school is going to require the students to submit the CSS profile. Again, this is going to be our top tier universities, our Ivy Leagues, our Ivy Lights, or a lot of our private schools. So keep that in mind. However, every school in the U.S. will accept the FAFSA. Every public school in the state of Texas will accept the TASFA. So the priority deadline for the FAFSA in the state of Texas was January 15th. Okay, at the time of this recording, that deadline is passed, but we want you all to know that it is not too late to still apply for financial aid. Again, this is a graduation requirement, and for us to receive whatever leftover funds are possible at Texas and public universities that you're applying to, we need to make sure that we complete the FAFSA, the TASFA, and the CSS profile as soon as possible. If you have not already completed these applications, we want to let you know that the College Center will be holding one more workshop to assist students with this. This will be taking place on Friday, January 21st from 12:25 p.m. to 4:10 p.m. in the College Center, room 1620. If you're unsure about what to bring, you can click this hyperlink when this is sent out via email. One of the main important items that we will need to complete any of the financial aid documents will be the 1040 tax return. Okay, these are going to be the individual tax return documents that we use to file taxes each year. When we fill out our financial aid documents, we're going to need the 1040 from the year 2020. This will not be the tax forms that your parents are currently filling out. These will be the ones that they filled out this time last year in 2021. We must have a copy of these while filling out these financial documents. However, if you're unable to find your 1040, we may be able to use the IRS data retrieval tool to search the IRS data bank for your tax information. That way, we can input it directly from the IRS into the FAFSA form, and it eliminates any human error. So you've submitted your FAFSA and TASFA. We just want to say congratulations. All right. So there's a lot more that we have to do after we press submit. Just because you press submit doesn't mean you are complete. So how does the FAFSA work? The FAFSA will give you what's called an expected family contribution, or an EFC. This is the amount you and your family are expected to contribute towards your college education for that year based off of your family's income. You can view your EFC by logging into your student aid report or your SAR in the FAFSA application. Each student's EFC will be different for that individual student, and the EFC is going to be based off of how much income comes in the household. So the more money your family makes, the higher your EFC may be. So let's have a breakdown of what this flowchart of the FAFSA looks like. So first, the students submit their FAFSA, hopefully before January 15th. After the student submits their FAFSA, the federal government receives it and calculates that EFC, that expected family contribution. From there, a copy of the EFC will go to the university. The universities will then take this EFC, do some more math, and they will award the student their financial aid award letter. After the federal government calculates the EFC and sends it to the university, they also send it to the student. So students, you all will receive a copy of your EFC for you to review, and then later you will receive a financial aid award letter from the colleges and universities that you've been accepted to. Let's walk through that one more time. We log into FAFSA. Here's what the website should say. Note that it says the 2022-2023 school year at the top tab, ensuring that we completed the correct year application. And under the application status, it says processed successfully, meaning everything has went through. If it's not green, same process successfully, so maybe it's red or yellow, definitely come visit us in the College Center and we can help you see what the problem may be. But we're going to scroll down from this page and we're going to see something that says View Student Aid Report. We're going to click on that button right next to that, and it's going to take us to our Student Aid Report. There's a lot of information on this front page, especially in that top box. I can see that this student submitted their FAFSA on December 11th, everything processed a couple of days later. But the most important part is going to be right here, this expected family contribution. Remember, how much your family is expected to come out of pocket for that year of college. So the EFC for this year of college is going to be 0, meaning that this family has to come out of pocket $0 for that first year of college. If you look, there's a little asterisk or a little star next to that 0, which means something is up. That is verification. So what is verification? Verification is the process in which the financial aid offices at the colleges and universities that you're applying to verify your FAFSA information. 1 out of every 3 students that apply for financial aid will get selected for verification. And this can happen 1 year, this can happen 2 years, this can happen every year. It just all depends on it's a random selection that year. It's a random process. There are things that you can do that increase your chances of getting selected for verification, which is why we ask our students, if you need help with the process, definitely come visit us in the College Center and we can help you with that. Again, if you are selected for verification, you're going to have that little asterisk or that little star next to your EFC. What do we do if we get selected for verification? The university is going to want some additional documents from us. So let's log into our emails and our financial aid portal, and let's make sure that we are completing any documents that they may ask of us. One thing that we can do is go back. If we manually inputted our tax information into the FAFSA, we can use that IRS data retrieval tool to input it directly from the IRS into the FAFSA to help eliminate any human error. If we do get selected for verification, come and see us in the College Center because we're going to need to go ahead and request your tax return transcript as soon as possible. Excuse me. The tax return transcript is just a copy of your parents' taxes for that year that they submitted them. And there are a couple of different ways in which we can request this information. And as we mentioned before, let's just make sure we're following up with the universities in a timely manner to fill out any additional verification forms that are specific to that university. Because if we don't follow up with the verification process, our universities will not award us financial aid. We're stopped in the middle of the process. Imagine we're in a line and we're moving forward because we are trying to get financial aid. If you're in verification, you're stopped in that line and people are going around you getting awarded their financial aid award for that year. So let's do our best not to stop our queue in line so we can get awarded as much money as possible when our time comes. How do we get these tax return transcripts? So the 3 main ways that you can get it: 1, online. Visit the irs.gov website, fill out the form, and make sure we're requesting that tax return transcript, okay? Some people, it works online super quick and easy. For some, online is difficult because they ask for things like a line of mortgage, a credit card number, or some other things that some families may not have, or social security number. In the event that your family is unable to fill out the tax return transcript online, the request, we can also fill out the 4506T easy form. I've linked that form here in this presentation. I also have copies here in the College Center if you want to come by and pick them up. When you come by, we'll highlight the parts that you need to have your parents fill out. We'll pre-fill out some parts that we already know the answers to. And when you return it the next day, we'll fax it off here on campus and we'll give you your receipt confirmation copy just so you can have for your own personal records. If we're unable to get the tax return transcript online or by fax and mail, then we're also able to call the 844 number on the screen and schedule an appointment at the IRS office here in Houston off of Gessner Road. Okay, I say this is the last resort due to the fact that we just don't know what all is going on with the COVID-19 protocols. as well as if the office is open and fully staffed. So the best bet, let's try online. If online doesn't work, come by the College Center or fill out the 4506T easy form. So how do schools determine financial aid? This is the formula on the screen that schools use to decide how much money you need to go to their college. So they're going to take the cost of attendance, that big sticker price that we talked about at the beginning of the presentation. They're going to subtract from that your expected family contribution, or your EFC, and that leftover number is your financial need, or how much you financially need to attend that university that year. Okay, so real life numbers. The University of Houston, right here in our own backyard, their cost of attendance is $23,000 a year, sticker price. Okay. For our example, let's say our EFC, expected family contribution, is $1,300. Our financial need to attend the university then would be $21,700. So the University of Houston would do their best to try to package us with what we need for that year up to the value of $21,700. Now, what all can they include in this package? These are all the different ways that we can meet our financial need. All right. So we're going to talk about 1, free money, 2, borrowed money, and 3, earned money. Free money. So free money that universities can award students come in the form of grants and scholarships. This is money that you should always accept first and foremost because we do not have to pay this money back. Scholarships can come in the form of need-based, talent-based, or merit-based. Grants are usually awarded based off of need. One of the most popular grants that a student can receive is going to be the Pell Grant. This year, the Pell Grant is valued for $6,345, free money each year that you do not have to pay back. So we highly recommend get your FAFSA done. Let's see what money you're leaving on the table that you can take advantage of. That's free money. Let's talk about borrowed money. Borrowed money comes in the form of loans. And usually when we say loans, a lot of people have this negative connotation with loans because maybe someone in your family, maybe a friend of a friend, maybe they had a really bad time or a bad experience with loans. What we recommend when it comes to loans, 1, do your research. Only take out as much money as you need for that year of college. Some universities may try to offer you more money than you need. Don't take it out. You don't have to. You can ask for only how much you need and decrease your award being offered. Secondly, as we receive these loans, let's make sure after we graduate, we have a plan set up to help pay this money back in a timely manner. We do think it's okay to take out loans here in the College Center, especially our federal loans. Federal loans are only going to be awarded to students up to the total amount of $5,500 each year for a total of $22,000 over a 4-year college experience, which is a good amount of debt to accumulate. That's similar to a car, which a lot of people have cars and pay those off in 5 years. So we definitely think with time, with a job, and with good money managing skills, you all can definitely pay those loans back off in a timely manner. The 2 types of federal loans that we all want you to consider are the federal subsidized loan and the federal unsubsidized loan. These are going to be the top 2 federal loans that you can take out at low interest rates to help you maintain your college career. The way we talk about the 2 different loans helps us understand how the 2 different loans can help us. So one of the loans is going to be the subsidized loan. And when we think subsidized, I want you all to think super. The subsidized loan is super because while you are in school, the federal government will pay for the interest on these loans. Okay, so that's good. That's something we don't have to worry about. We only will have to pay off the base amount of the loan as soon as we graduate. Okay, the unsubsidized loan we say is uncool because as soon as you take that loan out, that loan is going to start accruing interest. So if you take it out on the first day of school, freshman year, it's going to accrue interest over the 4 years that you're in college. It's going to accrue interest while you're looking for your first job, and it's going to accrue interest all the way until you pay it off in full. Okay, so the subsidized loan, you at least have that 4-year break while you're in school, and then it'll start accruing interest 6 months after you start leaving school. Unsub will start accruing interest as soon as you take it out. When it comes back to paying off your loans, universities will give you usually 6 months after your graduation, or 6 months after you leave school, whether that's you graduate or other purposes, to start paying back on those loans. If we don't pay back on those loans within 6 months, then we go into what's called default, and this is how we end up with sticky financial situations. So let's remember to always practice the best spending and borrowing practices possible. And last, we're going to talk about earned money. Earned money comes in the form of work study. And in the College Center, we really enjoy work study because what this is you getting a job working for the college campus. This is great because first and foremost, the university understands that you're a college student. You're here to get an education, and there are certain things that you're going to have to do to ensure that you get that education. So they're going to be more lenient and flexible with your work schedule to ensure that you're able to achieve your academic goals. Versus working off campus. You work off campus, your job is to be an employee. Regardless of what you may have going on outside of your life, you have to focus on showing up to work and achieving the goal of your job. Okay? The way work studies works is when we're filling out the FAFSA, there's a button on the screen that's going to ask us if we would like to be considered for work study. Make sure that we check yes on this button. After we check yes, if the university still has any work study funds available, then they will award them to you on your financial aid award letter. They're going to offer you your full amount of work study. However, this money will not be given to you up front like other financial aid is. This is going to be contingent on you finding a job on campus. And then once you find a job, you will be paid a portion of this full work study earned money in the form of a paycheck hourly over the course of a semester. So for instance, let's say we have this big boulder of $2,000. Each week, we're going to be chipping at that boulder, working, getting that $2,000. By the end of the semester, we may have chipped away that entire boulder and earned that entire $2,000 worth of work study. Maybe we only worked half that work study and we only earned $1,000, but that's still $1,000 that you get in your paycheck, okay? Let's say halfway through the semester, we worked all of our hours and earned all of our paycheck. Well, then that may be something that you have to talk with your employer about, possibly extending your work hours or finding additional funds within that department. Work study funds cannot be used to pay your tuition and room and board up front at the beginning of the semester. However, you can definitely use this work study paycheck to pay off any program plans that you may have over time, or to help use this as spending money as you go about your time in college. Okay, so that's going to be free money, borrowed money, and earned money. So how do we get all this money? All this money is going to come to us in the form of a financial aid award letter, and it's going to outline what your university can give you to help finance your time there. So let's break down the who, what, when, where, and why. Who gets a financial aid award letter? Any student who, one, completes the FAFSA and TASFA, and is accepted to that college or university. If you have not been accepted to that college or university, you will not receive an award letter. So first, let's make sure we've applied to that university and we've received admissions, and then let's be on the lookout for that financial aid award letter. What is this award letter again? It's just going to be a summary of the money that the school can offer you for that year. When should we be expecting this award letter? As early as now. Some universities have already started packaging students, especially our early decision students. But for our 4-year schools, we should definitely receive a financial aid award letter no later than mid-April. And I say that because a lot of universities require you all to let them know your admission decision by May 1st. And I want to ensure that you all have understood and looked at all your financial options before committing to your university. If we're looking at a 2-year or community college, those financial aid award letters don't usually start coming out until late April, which is good because they understand some students need a little more time to apply. They give you more time to apply. They give you more time to be considered for the most aid possible. And then when the time comes, they let you know how much it costs to go to that university. Where will we be receiving these letters, these award letters? So your award letters may come via snail mail, so check your home mail. They may be coming via email, so check your email, or they may be in your university portals. So make sure we still have access to those with our username and password, and we're checking those regularly to make sure we're not missing anything for verification or any financial aid award letters. And why is it important to look at the financial aid award letter? Because it helps us determine how much money a university is offering us. It helps us compare the award packages between similar universities or multiple universities. And it helps us make that final decision after we realize where we're getting into, what school is going to be most financially responsible for us to come in, for us to be successful there. Sorry, y'all, these fourth period bills. All right, so let's take a look at some sample award letters. So again, this is a sample of an award letter that a student received in the mail. It has a breakdown of what all their offers are, when they will be awarded these monies, and then how much total they will be awarded. And this is from Angelo State, right here in Texas. This is a screenshot from a university portal. This is going to be Texas A&M. I just happen to know off the top of my head. And they'll give you the fall amount as well as the spring amount. You see access to your scholarships, your grants, any loans that they may have for you. Here is a copy of an email that a student received from Purdue University. I like this one because at the top it has that breakdown of the cost of attendance for that year for that university, just for them to understand and have it side by side when they look up their award package. For some schools, you may have to find this information on their website. So definitely take advantage and let's make sure we're researching the university's pages. And this last one is going to be a scholarship letter that our student received from Houston Baptist University. Sometimes we don't get the full breakdown of everything that we've received. Sometimes they may have said, oh, here's one scholarship that you may receive, like Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Definitely, we're going to need copies of that here in the College Center. So keep a copy of it. So let's talk about what happens when schools aren't able to offer you as much financial aid as you may need. On the diagram on the left, we have the yellow bar, which is the full cost of attendance for a university. But then we have the green bar, and the green bar represents how much aid the university is awarding. Notice that the award doesn't meet the total for the full cost of attendance for that university. So when the need is not fully met, there's said to be an unmet need. Your unmet need does not equal your estimated family contribution, how much you have to already contribute to that cost of attendance. So for some people, you may have an EFC that you have to pay, as well as an unmet need on top of that for that university. So an unmet need is going to be what you owe the university after your award is considered. So what do we do if our financial aid package doesn't cover the full cost of attendance? Anybody? Bueller? Maybe I don't get that reference. Scholarships, okay? So scholarships are going to be the one-stop shop to help us meet any unmet need that we may have at a university. Okay, you all know we love preaching scholarships here in the College Center. If I could, I would do scholarships full time. Okay, so let's talk about scholarships. Some of the money that we receive are going to be institutional and come from the universities themselves. Okay, any scholarships we receive from the university, for the most part, is going to be merit based. So based off of our good test scores and our good grades that we received in high school. But outside of that, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of private individual scholarships. Here in the College Center, we say if you can eat it, drink it, or wear it, there's probably a scholarship for it. Okay. Community organizations, clubs, your job or your parents' jobs, religious organizations, everyone is looking to give out scholarships. Again, scholarships are given out based off financial need. Does your family need this money? It may be offered based off of merit. Do you have exceptionally good grades and test scores? Or it may be based off of talent. Do you stand out in some unique form or fashion? Okay. When we look for scholarships, make sure we're looking for quality over quantity. A lot of students receive scholarships that may be raffles, and because they're quick and easy to apply for, they want to put their name in the hat. Well, you're not really being considered for quality. You're just being considered for quantity, how many scholarships you're applying for. Okay. So to make sure you're applying for quality scholarships, I recommend that you all visit Cash for Cards. This is going to be a one-stop shop for all the scholarships that we receive here at Bel Air High School. If we were to send you an email every time we got a scholarship, you all would never check your email. So what we do is we put it in one spreadsheet for you all to look at. In Cash for Cards, we separate the scholarships based off the month that they're due. And if after you search the entire spreadsheet of scholarships, you can't find anything for you, at the top, we give you some special independent search engines for you to do your own research. Our personal favorite here in the College Center is going to be collegegreenlight.org. Okay? But in our list of scholarships, we'll always give you the name of the scholarship, the due date, the criteria that you need to apply for the scholarship, how much the scholarship is for, where you can go to apply, and who you can contact in case you have any questions or comments. Okay, so we do a lot of the heavy lifting for you all here in the College Center. So please take advantage of Cash for Cards and look for what scholarships are available for you. Again, you can find Cash for Cards at tinyurl.com/BHS cash, the number 4, and card spelled CARDS. I love this chart here because this chart helps us understand how much of or where all our financial aid will be coming from when we apply to college. So a large portion is going to be federal assistance. So coming from the federal government, whether that's the Pell Grant, whether that's our subsidized or unsubsidized loans, or federal work study. But another good portion of that is going to be subsidized by the universities themselves, almost a third. Okay? So that's going to be any university grants that they may offer, university scholarships, university work study programs. Additionally, the state government may offer some portion. So that can be something like your Texas grant or the valedictorian scholarship, or for our students that may be TASFA, our TASFA documents and TASFA scholarships. So when we break that down even more, private scholarships are going to be accounted for, as well as our students who may have to work to help pay for school and offset that cost. But the way we can work less is by doing more scholarships. The way I tell students is scholarships should be a full-time job. We're already being pulled from classes. We're already being pulled from social life. We're already being pulled in extracurriculars. Next thing we need to be pulled is from scholarships. Since we just finished our college applications and we're invigorated with so much energy, let's use that energy in the scholarship application process. Because never again in your life will you be able to make thousands and thousands of dollars in a few short hours the legal way. So take advantage of the scholarship. A lot of students come into the college and they're like, well, Mr. Lee, we hear you. Scholarships, cool. What all do I need to apply for these? Not every scholarship is going to be the same, but for the most part, a lot of them are going to ask for the same basic things. They may ask you for a copy of your transcript, which remember, all transcript requests will have to go through Naviance. So if you're looking to request a transcript for a scholarship, submit that request in Naviance. Standardized test scores also have to be sent out. Standardized test scores also have to be sent out to the universities. Some may ask for a PDF of them. Some may ask for an official copy to be sent from SAT or ACT. So just make sure you're following the rules and you're reading the directions. For some scholarships, they're going to want to see that you have completed the FAFSA, TASFA, or the CSS profile. Their logic is if we're giving you this money, we're going to want to see that you've exhausted all of your resources possible before we give you this money. One scholarship that we love right here in the College Center that definitely does this is the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Scholarship. Students, if you haven't already, that's a great scholarship for you to apply to. $20,000 over 4 years for students looking to stay in the state of Texas. Every high school in HISD is guaranteed at least one winner. So really, you're only competing against 613 other students. So visit the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo for that scholarship. But remember, they're going to need to see your FAFSA on file. Something else that they may ask for you to turn in for scholarships may be your parents' financial information. So they may ask for a copy of those tax returns that we use to fill out the FAFSA. So keep those nearby. Some other things they may ask for: proof of eligibility, so proof that you're a member of that organization or that you meet the criteria and credentials. They may ask for you to write an essay about yourself. Maybe we can reuse one of our college essays, or maybe we have to write a new essay, or maybe it's a short answer response. Or we can, some universities and scholarships may ask us to submit letters of recommendation. So depending on what they need, they may need a letter of rec from a teacher, a counselor, or a coach. So since we used a lot of those for our college applications, we definitely can reuse those, change admissions to scholarship, and send those out to the scholarship organization. Again, each scholarship isn't going to be cookie cutter and the exact same, but these are going to be pretty much some of the standard things that we need to be successful in that process. So some scholarship do's and don'ts. Do check for local scholarships. There's so much money right here in the Bel Air area that they're looking to give out. One scholarship that I know that's coming up here soon is going to be the Wilburn Scholarship. This is offered to students here at Bel Air High School who both go to school and hold down a job, internship, or they work. So if that's you, definitely take advantage of that. That's a local scholarship only offered to Bel Air and 3 other HISD high schools. Next, do follow directions. You don't know how many times I've sat on a scholarship committee and I've had to throw out whole applications because they missed the question, or they didn't turn in the documents that were asked of them, or that they missed something in the process. Don't have your total application ignored by not following directions. Follow them, double check, bring it to the College Center, we'll double check. Let's make sure we get the money that we deserve. Do demonstrate why you should win. You're in competition. You're not only competing against yourself, but you're competing against thousands of other bright individuals across the nation. So let's definitely make sure we're putting our best foot forward and we're telling them verbatim why we deserve this money. If we deserve this money because we worked hard in our classes, tell them that you worked hard in your classes. If we deserve this money because we come from a single parent household where everyone in the household has to work for a living, then tell them that story, okay? If we deserve this because we're the star athlete here at Bel Air, then tell them that. But again, they can't be mind readers, they can't infer, and they can't read between the lines. Tell them point blank period why you deserve to win the scholarship. Do proofread. A lot of you all know proofreading can save you between a C or an A on a project, a test, anything. So proofread everything you can. Do practice your interview skills. So some organizations will ask for you to come in and give an interview with them just so they can get to know you and your personality to see if you best fit their mission statement. So again, do practice your interview skills. We offer that here in the Bel Air College Center. So if you need some assistance, come by, visit us, and we can help you with that. And then again, do check cash for cards. This is going to be, again, a one-stop shop for all the scholarships we get here at Bel Air. We work really hard to ensure that this is up to date, so please take advantage of this. When we do, notice deadlines. So some universities, or excuse me, some scholarships are going to say that their deadlines should be postmarked deadlines, and some are going to say received by deadline. If they're received by deadline, that means they need to have it in their possession by that day. So we need to send it off well in advance to ensure that they receive it by that day. If it's just a postmark deadline, we have to make sure it's at the post office with a stamp on it by that day. So let's make sure we're reading that, read the criteria, and let's use any links to get full descriptions and requirements of the scholarships that we're applying for. All right, let's shift on over to scholarship. Don't forget to ask your college reps at your universities or the financial aid office for any additional funds that may be available. College reps have worked with you all year long in meeting you at Bel Air, meeting you on their campus. You may have their email address or their phone number, and y'all are tight. Then what I need you all to do is let's use that relationship and let's see if there's any additional funds that may be left on the table for you to take advantage of. Scholarship, don't ignore independent research. We can only do so much for you here at Bel Air, but to get scholarships specifically tailored for you, you're gonna have to do some heavy lifting. Don't forget the small scholarships, they add up. A lot of students won't apply for scholarships if they're anything less than $10,000. 500 plus 500 equals 1,000. 1,000 plus 1,000 equals 2,000. $2,000 can be the difference between you eating a sandwich a week or you eating steak every week. So keep that in mind as we're applying for scholarships. And last but not least, don't procrastinate. You all take advantage of your late arrival days this semester, your early release days, early dismissal days, any weather days that we may get, our holidays, our weekends. You get a whole week off for spring break. Don't procrastinate. Get this done, okay? Remember, the only scholarship that you're guaranteed not to win is the one that you don't apply for. A lot of students sit around and they say, well, Mr. Lee, this scholarship's too hard, or it takes a lot of work. I don't want to do this. I understand this. If you have that idea, every other senior has that idea. And guess what? Who wins the scholarship? That one student that said, I'm going to do it. Are they always the most qualified student? No. Are they always the most deserving student? No. But if they take the time to do the scholarship and they're that one student that did, they sound pretty deserving to me. So let's make sure you're a deserving student and we consider you for everything that you deserve. One of the tools that we use here in the College Center to help us understand all of our aid that we're receiving from universities and how it's going to affect us choosing our colleges is the award letter analyzer. What this is an Excel document where we can plug in certain numbers such as the campus cost of attendance, our gift aid, any loans or scholarships that we may receive, and then it lets us know how much we should have to pay up front as a bill and a breakdown of how much we may have to pay each semester as well as our net cost for that university. So again, anything that's linked in the presentation will take you to it. Here in the title, go ahead and click on Award Letter Analyzer, and it'll take you to our analyzer. When you come see us in the College Center, what we will do is we will have you pull up this Award Letter Analyzer, fill out the information at the top, and we'll break down what all your university is offering, if it's a good deal, and we'll ask you to save this in case you visit us again, and we can compare multiple universities side by side. So if we were in person, we would go through an example of an award letter, but let's take a look at this award letter. They have a lot of useful information. This is going to come from one of our local HBCUs, our historically Black colleges and universities, Prairie View A&M University, PV, you know. All right, so on here, we see the cost of attendance for this year is $23,750. That's that sticker price that we're expected to pay for that university. Here they give us a breakdown of how much they're awarding this student. So first, it looks like we're being awarded the federal direct unsubsidized loan in the amount of $1,000 each semester for a total of $2,000. Next, the student is being offered the federal direct subsidized loan for $1,750 each semester for a total of $3,500. Next, the student is offered the federal Pell Grant, $1,983 each semester for a total of $3,965. This student was offered the federal Work Study for a total of $1,500 each semester for a total of $3,000 total. The Texas Grant for $2,500 each semester for a total of $5,000. The TPEG, Texas Public Education Grant, TPEG loan, or grant, for $1,000 each semester for a total of $2,000, as well as a university-specific grant, the undergraduate designated tuition grant, I know it off the top of my head, for $1,000 each semester for a total of $2,000. So what a student would do is bring this in, we look at it, we break down that cost of attendance, and we do even more research to understand what's going to be the direct cost of attendance for this school year. So that's going to be tuition and fees, room and board, and then how much are we being offered? We then go back and we can add those indirect costs, but remember, those indirect costs can fluctuate based off of how lavishly or frugally you choose to live that year in college. So the takeaway for today's presentation, if we have not already, please remember to complete your FAFSA and TASFA, as this will be a graduation requirement for the class of 2022. Okay, the Texas deadline to complete the FAFSA was January 15th. This was the priority deadline to receive as much money as possible. However, since it's past this deadline, anything that we apply for now will be whatever leftover funds the university may have. Remember, financial aid is first come, first serve, so get your name in the hat as soon as possible. Secondly, if you haven't completed the FAFSA, remember tomorrow, January 21st, the College Center will be hosting a financial aid workshop from 12:20 to 4:10. So come by and visit us if you need help with that. If you were selected for verification and you have an asterisk next to your EFC, make sure you're checking your university portals to clear up any verification that they may ask. And come by and visit us in the College Center for that 4506T EZ form so we can request a copy of your tax return transcript. And then last but not least, seniors, please remember, we need you all to turn in a copy of all your acceptance letters and all of your financial aid award letters by the end of the school year. There are two separate links here that you can use to upload a copy of that. In your acceptance letters, we need to see your name, the university's name, and the fact that you were accepted. So this can be a screenshot of a portal, a screenshot of an email or an actual email, or it can be a picture of maybe something that you got in the mail that says, congratulations, you've been accepted with your name on it. For the award letter, again, we must see your name, the university's name, and how much they're awarding you for that first year of college. If it's an independent scholarship, so maybe let's say the Bel Air PTO scholarship or the principal scholarship that come out later this school year, we need to see your name, the organization's name, and how much they're awarding. Okay, this helps us with our data collection here at Bel Air High School and ensure that we're helping the students to the best of our ability and that we're able to assist any future classes as they come through these great halls of Bel Air High School. All right. So that brings us to the end of today's presentation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, or fears, we're here in the Bel Air College Center Monday through Friday, 1st through 7th, to help you with anything that you may have. So come by and visit us. Again, I'm Mr. Devontae Lee, the College Access Coordinator here at Bel Air High School. You can reach me at Devontae.Lee at HoustonISD.org. Talk to y'all next time. Stay fly, Bel Air High.